It's hard to talk about men's issues in the third world country. So recently I've seen a video on national broadcasting, and she was talking about this kind of issues, but she opened up, she started the talk immediately with how scared she is, how afraid she is of men, how she feels unsafe. So in a third world country, you you can't speak about men's issues, or they won't allow you, because immediately they'll bring up how scared women are of men because of how high the violence is. And when I saw the title of that video, I immediately knew what was coming, because I've experienced it firsthand from people, from friends. They don't let you get a word in and speak about one issue without invalidating the other. They're two completely separate issues. Men are terrified to speak about these experiences, but it happens all the time. You're having a hard time and you don't dare speak about it because it's the statistics. So one in 30 women, something would have happened to every 30 women in South Africa. That I'm in third world country. Other third world countries even worse. India is worse. But I've yet to see someone speak about the issue without bringing up how violent, how dangerous it is for women. And I am going to talk about it, despite the violence. Not all men are violent. So that being said, I'll just say this. During no point in history, modern history, let's say the last 100 years, did anyone stop and say, maybe we were too hard on men? World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, the Anglo War, every other war, basically all of it, every trend, every movement, the goalpost keeps changing. Men have to keep catching up. At no point did anyone come forward and say, yeah, you're going a little bit far. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, he got into trouble a few years ago. These algorithms of these apps, they have a team of psychologists to make it most engaging. Although it's not stand a chance on them. I would often say there's nothing good about social media because the bad negates the good. It's not even sympathy that men are asking for, it's acknowledgement that these problems exist. But the strange thing is, they do these things and they take away all acknowledgement. Double whammy. The obscene amount of content just based on trying to get this acknowledgement that these problems exist. There's no need to look for acknowledgement. We have 100 years of history. I'm just counting the last 100 years, not all of human history. It's quite obvious. Whenever you try to get a word in, it comes back with that statistic, that abuse statistic. So, you just have to keep silent. It's not what I'm going to do. The most brain dead take on the matter that I've heard is that men are suffering under the system that they have built. And I've seen men say this as well. Women and men are saying this, that men are suffering under the system that they have built themselves. And this is a major fallacy. It's not true. Men aren't suffering under the system that they've built. They are suffering under the system that elites have built. Elites have built the system. You're speaking about men that have built the system. You're speaking about John D. Rockefeller. You're speaking about the Rothschilds. You're not speaking about your average men. You're not speaking about your average man. You say men built the system. Those are the men you're speaking about. No, and by no means, even the above average man is not a Rockefeller. They're not the Rothschild. You are speaking about unprecedented amounts of money. According to the men that have built the system, you cannot comprehend the amount of influence or wealth they have accumulated over generations. As we were onto something, the amount of discourse about this not conspiracy theories anymore, the cat's out of the bag. People were onto these elites recently, and all of a sudden the bombs just start falling. So we're back to every man for himself. So it's like, you're close to the truth, and they just nerfed us right back to state of survival. I don't know how far this is gonna go. They're probably gonna push it a bit. It might escalate, it might not. I hope it doesn't escalate. There's no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. So that's a take that just infuriates me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to debate about it. You're speaking about men that you blow off men's issues. You say it's men that built the system. Shut up. You're suffering under something you built. That's not true at all. Most men are not elite. It's a very small amount of the population that are elite men. The cat's out of the bag, and I'm not pulling any punches anymore. I believe the majority of feminism, other than the part that you want human rights, you want equal rights, everything after that is domination, female domination over men. Feminism itself, past the point of wanting rights, it doesn't make sense. If you want privileges, different privileges that you don't work for, you're taking that away from somebody else. And the argument to shut down feminism is so easy. Why are you on the internet? Why you come on Beyonce's internet is talking about you want this, you want that, you want that extra bit of money that someone might have more than you. You're talking about feminism, you're talking about the nice jobs that you could have, the privileges, but you're not talking about the shelters, the woman in the shelters. You're not talking about the woman on the streets, because if feminism is about uplifting women, it's not. It's about gaining free privileges. No one is stopping you from helping women. Nobody is stopping you from influencing women in a positive way, but it's become a way to shut down men. There's no shortage of women who need help. No one is stopping you from helping women. Go right ahead, open your house, open your wallet, help him out. But no, that's not what it's about. It's about wanting free things. It's about wanting special privileges. You can't speak about these kinds of things. And this video, you can't speak about this kind of thing. You automatically get labeled an incel or something. Or you speak about something like this and you get comments like, so you're saying you can't get any. You haven't gotten any in a while. Oh, he looks like an incel. He's one of those incels. And a lot of the truth lies in these comments, because it's like, so you're kind of suggesting that everything is sexual. That's not the point I was trying to make. But a lot of the truth lies in these insults themselves. You consider the nature of these insults. When I say insult, it sounds like insult. the nature of these insults. It sounds, there's a lot that you can learn from it, because I'm like, why are you referring to sex? I'm not even talking about that. Why are you making everything sexual? I was talking about acknowledgement of men's problems. I wasn't talking about that. Why is that being used as an insult? Go so far as to saying being lustful puts a woman in a certain position of power, because that she has the decision making. It's like she sees you're lustful and she has the power in her hands. But if you're not lustful and you're like, let's speak on equal terms, and it's like, oh crap, now it's man versus woman. Then you have this back and forth, and you're not really lustful. You don't feel that kind of lust towards anyone, and it's just like you're trying to have a conversation. You're trying to see if you connect on that level, and that really puts a woman on the spot. And then you be called a narcissist or cocky or something like that. So you just can't win. So if you don't have that lust, you can really put a woman on the spot. I want to end with, don't let anyone invalidate your lived experience. You have lived, and without a doubt, you have lived however amount of years, and that's an experience in itself. So don't let anyone ever invalidate your lived experience. This has happened, and they just shut you down. They insult you or whatever. Say you don't have this amount of money, you're a loser, whatever. But you're trying to make a point. You're trying to get your point across that yes, I've experienced this. It literally happened. Why would you say it didn't happen? Like right now, I've been sick for a long time. That's just a fact. That's just a matter of fact. I don't need anyone to tell me that I'm not sick. If you would invalidate an illness, you're just a piece of shit. Now, why would you invalidate a lived experience? I'm gonna end the video before I start going too far off topic. But everyone have a good one. Keep well.